The DCI for me has been without doubt the best year of my life. It's just a magical, stolen season.
I wanted to change my life in a way. Well, not in a way, I wanted to change my life.
In the last century, longevity has increased by over 30 years and continues to increase every year going forward. In the United States, in the next 12 years, 20% of the population is going to be over 65.
As lifespan continues to expand around the world, all of us in higher education have to ask ourselves, how can higher education help individuals reframe their careers for a lifetime of work that extends way beyond what was contemplated when Stanford was founded?
Phil invited me to come to his office and talk about a program that he was developing that would bring people with deep expertise in midlife back to Stanford for a year as students. When I heard about this concept, I was thinking this completely corresponds with the mission of the Stanford Center on Longevity, which is to rethink the kind of culture that we need to build so that we support people all the way through long lives.
Oftentimes, individuals get to midlife and they begin to think, what am I going to do next? How do I kind of rejuvenate, renew myself in different ways? And that's where we began to think, is there a role for higher education in enabling people in midlife to regroup and reconnect? And then we thought about, well, what are the variables that contribute to how well people do during the life journey? And we chose 3 because they correlate quite strongly, independently and codependently, with how people do in life. The first is really the importance of purpose. When you have a sense of purpose and you wake up every day and you think, I'm really excited to do this, that's really important.
It's an opportunity to reflect, to renew, to engage in a community of people that I think you will find very stimulating, with an opportunity to continue to find what your purpose should be going forward, and hopefully emerge completely reinvigorated.
The second is really the importance of connectivity, of community. We almost take it for granted in our workplace because we have friends and colleagues, and when we begin to migrate from those traditional corridors, we lose them. And yet social engagement is one of the most important factors. When people lose social connectedness, it too has a very negative correlation on outcome.
Getting older is synonymous with losing things, losing your sight, losing your hearing, losing your friends, losing people. This is, the DCI is like, no, here we're adding to the mix. Community helps you add.
And then the third part of what we're focusing on, of course, is the wellness. This is not about health in the traditional sense, but about what are the things you need to do to prepare yourself for a better, more meaningful life.
Lifelong learning includes taking care of ourselves. Wellness is a core piece of how I see myself staying vibrant, staying relevant, and staying vital.
So putting them together, purpose, community, and wellness, it's allowed us to construct a program that permits our fellows to undergo personal transition and transformation. We're interested in, will this change the trajectory of their lives?
The point of the DCI is, you must go deep inside yourself and ask yourself questions that perhaps, because life has been so busy, you haven't had the time or the opportunity or the courage to ask yourself. And it's, what are you doing and why are you doing it?
I was an artist, I was a conductor and a pianist. In commercial theater, there's a repetitive aspect to it. You do the same show every night. And when you do about 5,000 of those performances, it can begin to wear you down. So when I was on the road, I was constantly taking continuing education courses just to keep my mind active. When I saw this program as being a full-time version of what I was doing part-time, I leapt at the opportunity to investigate that further and to see if that could really take it to another level.
For me, DCI has allowed me to think through the next chapter. It's different when you're 25 or 35 or 45. you are thinking about a career with a heavy dose of where you might make money and where you might move up. At this stage of my life, it was more, how might I go about doing things where I can actually make a difference to the world in a long-lasting way.
One of the great opportunities at a university like Stanford is the opportunity for fellows to sample courses and activities across the university, in the School of Humanities and Sciences, in the School of Engineering, in the School of Medicine, in the School of Earth and Environmental Sciences, in the School of Education, in the Business School, in the Law School. All of these have offerings.
It's an unbelievable selection of programs, and that, for me, was the biggest challenge of the program, to be honest with you. I mean, every single quarter would go through the entire catalog, come up with a list of literally about 40 classes I'd like to take.
The opportunity to have individuals with life experience sitting side by side with undergraduate and graduate students creates a forum for dialogue and discussion, not only about the topics of a course, but about the whole agenda for life.
The DCI Fellows, when they attend classes, bring unique intergenerational perspectives to the courses. They've also developed deep mentoring relationships with many of the students that enrich our students' lives and their perspectives as well.
Part of DCI has been the incredible privilege to actually sit in classes with the undergrads and the grad students. It has been kind of core learning with people who were like me just several decades ago.
DCI turned out to be so much more than I ever imagined it would be. It was not just taking the courses, which is an extraordinary privilege, and all the seminars and all the conferences you get to go to, but it's so specifically all the people that you meet.
My surprise, my delightful surprise in DCI has been forming relationships, close relationships, with this cohort of fellows. We truly are lifelong friends.
DCI is less about one program at one exceptional university, but rather an idea whose time has come for universities across the United States.
Over time, we're interested in the question of whether we can use DCI as a catalyst, not just for Stanford, but for many other colleges and universities around the world, not to franchise what we're doing, but rather to collaborate and say, can we work together, share information, and build programs? And then let's see what the impact of that is collectively on individuals, and see whether not only does it change the individual life journey, but can it change a community or a state or a country's life journey, and actually have an economic benefit by reducing the need for medical and social services.
Everybody's going to have to think about a DCI-like experience, because there's no way even my graduate education could have supported this long a career or this many years of a career. You need to go back and rethink and retool.
People are changed by the program, and they're changed in important ways. And for many, it's professional, and it gets them to think differently and to go back and do something different. But I think they're all changed as individuals and emotionally. I think they have a new perspective on life and on the future.
We're interested in people who are thinking about the future in a positive way. This is a program for individuals who see themselves as having a long arc before them. This is not about retirement. This is about new beginnings. Why not think of your life journey as exuberantly happy and positive for as long as it can be? And that's what we're hoping to enable our DCI fellows to do in their lives.